Essentially rugby.
Yeah, of course. I just meant the.
Do we speak?
We'll.
Yeah.
You want to start?
Do we need the?
Not.
Oh yeah.
Definitely, but.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Chris?
Can I get this out of the way straight away? What is it like for you two to be up against Hooper?
It's pretty. It's just something we're very much looking forward to. Obviously you want to challenge yourself, play against the best in the world. It's fair to say that they're two world-class open sides. So they're players that Tom and I, I'm sure, as we were sort of growing up and coming through, sort of looked at and sort of aspired to be like, and so it's a bit surreal to be sort of coming up against them now. But massively looking forward to it. I think that's I speak on behalf of both of us when I say we're very much looking forward to it.
No, Sam hit the nail on the head there.
We're keeping Tom's talking to a minimum today.
Yeah, I've had a warning.
It was Australia who sort of made the twin open side model fashionable, but New Zealand are doing it now, and Eddie's arrived to it now. Why do you think it is so in fashion?
I think especially this World Cup, you see how influential the breakdown is in terms of the platform to develop that momentum for attack. Also, you look at the relationship between who you've got at 8, 6, 7, and what everyone can bring, and kind of like building that as a three is massive. Making sure you can kind of people are filling in for each other in certain areas, or that you can work together in most areas. I think a lot of it is about the relationship between all three players and what they bring in terms of their attributes.
Sam, do you see similarities in the way you two play compared to how Pocock and Hooper play together?
In some ways. I think the thing with the game now is everyone is kind of expected to do everything. I think the sort of traditional roles where you maybe have a specialist 7 or a specialist, blindside or 8, whatever. People have still got their strengths in certain areas, but I think now you can't. You're expected to be able to do everything. Even as a 7 now, you're expected to be carrying. You're expected to be good at set piece. You're expected to be, good defensively and at the breakdown and everything. And that's the same with a number 8 or a 6, or whoever you play. So I think that's probably why you see more sides picking 2 7s, because the 7s now can do more. So can your 6s and your 8s as well. But I think that's probably why you're seeing more of that, on top of the fact that breakdown is so important to the game.
Eddie described you as the most combative open side you've seen for quite a while. Is that a description you'd recognise of the way you play?
Sorry, is that?
That's for you, Sam.
I think you've got to be. I think kind of lends itself to the position. It's a physical position, and it's one that's it's down to. It's not the most glamorous of work at times. So I think that's kind of what you've got to be like, because it's not about your glamorous line breaks or your missed passes or whatever, your kicks in behind or whatever. It's pretty gritty, pretty unglamorous work. So I think you've got to enjoy that, and you've got to kind of see see how what you're doing contributes to the team. When the guys are scoring out wide, it's normally because some of the forwards have done something good in the middle, or something that's fairly dull to watch, but it creates the special moments in the game. So yeah.
4 years ago, Pocock drove England to distraction at the breakdown. The next game England played against them was on the tour in 2016, and Haskell, first chance he got, smashed Pocock, picked him up, slammed him on his back. Eddie's talking about being brutal, you being confrontational. Is that the kind of marker you like to set down as soon as you can on Saturday?
I think it's something you try and aim for every week. Obviously, we spoke about Hooper and Pocock did, in the World Cup, the amount of turnovers, and it has been reduced since then, especially when England have played Australia, and it'll be no different for this weekend. It's something you go out every week to, first and foremost for the team, but then beat your opposite man.
Sam, technically, why are they so effective over the ball? Is it sort of body shape, that kind of thing? And is there anything for these two, or maybe one of them, that you have to change or adapt for yourselves this week in terms of getting there first or clearing them out?
Yeah, technically they're both very good over the ball. Pocock's obviously he's probably the best in the world over the ball in terms of how strong he is and his body position and stuff. On top of that, they've got good timing. I think the timing's more important of the two. I think they're kind of, in a way, a victim of their own success, because you can see now how much emphasis teams put on negating players that are good at the breakdown now, and how much of a team effort it is. I think that's the biggest change. Is it's not just a thing for the forwards to focus on. It's not just a thing for Tom and I to focus on. It's a team-wide thing, because you don't know who's going to be in the breakdown at any given time. So I think that's the biggest sort of shift in mindset for this weekend. It's a team-wide focus on the breakdown. Yeah.
Because you have to, once he's in position, he's so hard to shift. The key is to get in there before him. Whoever it is, get there.
Yeah, ideally you want to get there. You don't want there to be any space. The only space they can take is the space that you kind of give them. So if you take that away, you'll have an easier contest. If you don't, you have a more difficult contest. It obviously relies on everyone. It relies on the ball carrier, relies on your support players, relies on your positioning on the field and everything. So it's going to be a challenge, but it's one we're looking forward to as a team as well.
Have you two been hanging out?
No.
Particularly off the field? The social committee and the fines committee seem to have it in for you a little bit. Can you tell us what's going on there? Why you're in so much trouble?
We're not in trouble. I thought it was a compliment. People would want to go for lunch with us for a dice roll.
Yeah, it's effectively a get-out clause.
Yeah.
If you roll a 1, your punishment's sort of forgotten about, and equally if you roll whatever it is for us to go out for lunch, I think that's also not a punishment. So it's really 2 get-outs. Yeah.
Is that actually?
I don't know what you're trying to imply, but I think it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, not yet though, not yet.
And Jamie George sort of suggested you were trying to set up a rival social committee. Is that true? You're adding yourself to what's that previously?
No, that's
That sounds like something he'd
that's
do.
completely fictitious. I sat in on a fines committee, not on a fines committee, a social committee meeting, and suggested that I could contribute to the group. They obviously felt differently, so the group remained as is, but we still have a very good relationship though.
The music committee's got Sam in it though, but just Sam.
Another completely slanderous lie. It's actually myself, Lewis Ludlam, Joe Cockensinger, and more recently Carl Sinclair. So yeah, it's growing in popularity and in influence. So yeah, watch this space.
Tom, Sam touched on what it takes to be a 7, your style of 7. Mentally, what do you have to do to prepare yourself for what is basically a car crash, isn't it? 80-minute car crash for you guys?
What do you mean?
You keep on hitting things and being hit.
But I guess that's kind of why we love the game. In a weird sense, it's probably quite hard to explain to your mum more than anyone. That's honest. It's why you love the game. The physicality of it is brilliant. You probably can't get it in any other walks of life, to be honest. So it's a nice addition. Well, I probably can't speak for most.
He's definitely speaking for himself, right?
Yeah, speak for myself. It's part of the reason I love the game is that the attrition. But then obviously, like you said, the mental side, make sure you get yourself refreshed, prepared throughout the week, leading into the game. You don't just turn up. It takes a good 6-7 days to get yourself into it, whether that's recovering from the previous game. It takes a full week to really get going.
We've heard a bit about the balance between 6, 7 and 8 going into these kind of test matches. We saw Billy in a moon boot not too long ago with the fact that he's fit and able to be part of that back row. Does that free you up even more to concentrate more just on the breakdown, which is maybe crucial for this kind of thing?
I think so, mate. I think Billy was just trying to get out of some fitness, to be honest. But he's a pretty big addition to any team, especially to us. His skill set's pretty special, and what he can do with the ball, fair to say, not many other players can do. So I think in any balance of that row, you try and get yourselves plenty of strengths. Fair to say his strength is when he's on the ball. So absolutely, that's something you look to do. And as a result of that, if that means Tom and I are free to do what we do, then yeah, that's brilliant.
So maybe we're just talking about your line-out improvements as the third jumper in the team. Can you just talk us through how much work you've had to put into that area, and are you comfortable being hoisted that high up into the sky, and particularly against a team with such tall locks like the Wallabies have?
Yeah, definitely. It's something I've been working on for a few months now, probably day in, day out, with Steve Borthwick. He's been a massive help to, like you said, get that stability, get that confidence, and work on it day in, day out with the other locks, getting the movement right. And like you said, it is a vital thing, especially, we've got Billy, who probably isn't, the most acrobatic. So to be able to have, another back row that can help the second rows out is probably good for the team.
What's the hardest thing you've had to try and master to be that third jumper in the last?
Catching the balls.
Probably the different movements. There's a few movements that aren't just on the spot, and be able to keep your shape. So probably just getting yourself coordinated. But once like I said, day in, day out, get it into muscle memory, and you'll be flying. Terrible pun.
Any more?
Is that?
You got been to see anything interesting while you've been here? Been to any interesting cafes, animals, etc.?
Surprisingly, I'm also in that committee, on the cat cafe committee by myself as well.
He's been begging the lads to go with him the whole time we've been out there. Have you gone to one yet?
No, my parents are coming out. I'm going with them.
If we can find one later, we'll take him to one, just for his mental well-being. We're getting a bit concerned about him. He seems to really want to go. So.
Any more questions? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Do it.
Quite fun, aren't they?